The South Korean won to US dollar exchange rate has topped the 1,261 mark for the first time in over 2 years. Experts say this could signal bad news to the South Korean economy. Eun-jin reports.
The South Korean won continues to fall against the US dollar at a fast pace as concerns rise over its devastating effects. The local currency ended Wednesday at 1,265.20 won against the US dollar, down close to 15 won from Tuesday's close. This is the first time in more than 2 years that the won passed the 1,261 level since the global outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic in March of 2020. The impact of events destabilizing the exchange rate market, including China's COVID-19 lockdowns and the ongoing Ukraine war, is being reflected by the weakening won, as such events bring expectations of aggressive monetary tightening by the Federal Reserve. Fed Chairman Jerome Powell signaled a 0.5 percentage point rate hike at next week's policy meeting as U.S. inflation jumped to a 41-year high in March.
China's COVID-19 lockdowns have caused an economic slowdown, which in turn strengthens the preference for safe assets, which in turn drives up demand for a dollar and a jump in the exchange rate.
The won's weakness will make it more difficult for the government to tame inflation as the declining value creates a surge in import prices, putting more pressure on consumer prices. To this, Finance Minister Hong Nam-gi said on Thursday that the government plans to take necessary measures to stabilize the foreign exchange market as well as the ongoing inflation and rising consumer prices.
The Korean won has fallen against the US dollar at a fast pace this week. The government is closely monitoring the FX market in a bid to curb the won's excessive one-sided movements, and it plans to make efforts to stabilize the market if needed.
The Korean won has fallen some 6% to the dollar so far this year. But with soaring oil and gas prices, the Russian invasion of Ukraine, disruptions in global supply chain, experts say such events make it inevitable that the won will depreciate further. Eun-jin, Arirang News.